Oh, hey y'all! I guess it's that time again. Fitness Q&A videos. The first question comes from Beth. She asks, my workouts have to be very quick since I work out on my lunch break and I need some assurance on how to structure a routine. 1 body part a day, 2 a day, and where do I fit in cardio? Well, Beth, I would say just to mix it up. If you have 3 days a week or 4 days a week, if you have 4 days a week, maybe do a lower body circuit followed by cardio, upper body circuit followed by cardio, maybe 30 minutes each. If you have a few more days per week, like 5 days a week, maybe you could do supersets of push-pull, maybe do like back and chest or back and biceps, and then do a high-intensity interval training cardio after that. So, there's no right or wrong way to really structure it, but just make sure you mix it up every 4 to 6 weeks so you'll continue to see progress. The next question comes from Melissa. I would love for you to explain dairy consumption in a clean diet. Rather confused as I found food listings of no milk or dairy, but then recommending Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. What are the pros and cons of dairy in our diet? Well, Melissa, I guess it just depends on if you are lactose intolerant or not. And a good way to find out would be to cut out dairy from your diet, cut out wheat, and just eat clean whole foods. So your lean meats, veggies, non-gluten grains. Do that for a few weeks and then reintroduce just dairy. And if it doesn't give you a problem, then I would say go ahead and eat dairy. A lot of people are not lactose tolerant, and that's why you hear so many people say don't drink milk or don't take in dairy. So, just as long as your body can handle it, I think it's okay. It's a good source of protein and calcium, and I tend to include it in my diet up until probably a couple weeks out from a show. The next question comes from Julianne. She asks, I've been eating clean and working heavy for about 5 months, and I feel like I've hit a plateau a month ago, and I've been trying hard to get past it, but I'm running out of ideas. I feel like I'm not looking any different. Any suggestions? Well, Julianne, you've been working out heavy for 5 months, and if you've been at a plateau for a month, maybe you're just doing the same things over and over again. So maybe stop training heavy, take a few days off from the gym, come back, do some type of circuit training or total body lift, take the next day off, maybe switch to just doing body weight resistance exercises. Just mix it up. It sounds like, if you've hit a plateau and you've been at a plateau for a month, that you just might need to, take a break or, just stop lifting heavy for a week or two and then go back to it. Your body's probably just accustomed to your workouts, and hopefully mixing it up, that will help. The next question comes from Amber. She asks, I'm learning how to do Olympic lifts for fun, but as a bodybuilder, how should I and how do you incorporate these moves, like the clean and jerk, snatch, push press, into your daily workouts or training splits? Well, Amber, I do a lot of the Olympic lifts for performance for the high jump to improve my explosiveness and my power. And then, on the other hand, when I'm training for a show, I'll do, like 5 sets of 5 hang cleans in the beginning of, say, my leg workout or shoulder workout, just as a good warm-up. It tends to fire up the central nervous system, and I feel like I can lift heavier and lift more after I've done the powerlifting or the Olympic lifts. But I would say if you're just learning, the best way to do it would be just to get the bar by itself, which is 45 pounds, or one of those body bars, and I think they range from like 9 pounds to 30 pounds. So you can even get like a broomstick, just take the end of the broom off first and, just practice with just the broomstick and getting that motion correct. So it's not so much lifting heavy as it is making sure you're using your legs, you're using your hips, you're catching with the upper body, and everything is working in unison, and it's an explosive move. So get the motion, get the explosiveness first, and then worry about the weights after that. The next question comes from Jason. He asks, how do you conquer your mind to push out that extra rep or the extra mile? Well, Jason, I think it's different for each person. For me, I like to have my goals written down, and then I'll spend a few quiet moments in the car before I go into the gym or before I hit the track, and I just visualize exactly what I want, and I see myself making those improvements in my physique, or making the improvements in my sprint times, and just having that in the back of my mind, knowing that that's what I want to accomplish, it pushes me to finish the workout and do the best that I can do. But it really is, it does have to come from inside. But with a little bit of planning, you can train your mind to help you accomplish those goals. The next one comes from Marilis. She asks, what are some competition do's and don'ts for first timers? Competition do's, I would say, practice your posing. Really practice that spray tan. Make sure you've got your tan perfect before you go on stage. For the ladies, practice your hair and makeup and your jewelry, and have somebody look at you. Have a friend that you can bounce ideas off of and get some good ideas. I would say also practice your week of depletion and load diet, whether it's carb loading or fat loading, whether you're going to cut out your sodium, cutting water, which I don't necessarily recommend, but just do like a practice run through of everything that is stage related. Don'ts for first timers: don't panic. Don't forget that it is something that it should be fun. It should be, your goal should not be to go out and win. Your goal should be to, maybe round out your shoulders or improve your symmetry, or, set objective goals that you can feel good about when you go up on stage, regardless of placing, whether you've lost a couple of inches in your waist, or, maybe you've lost 20 pounds. That's being a winner right there. So I would say, those are some easy do's and don'ts, but perfect practice makes perfect. So, get out there and do your dry run of the competition. The last question comes from Jeremy. He asks, do you find it more convenient to lunge walk to get a wedgie out of your tight workout shorts when training, or reach back to pull it out, or none of the above? Well, Jeremy, I guess it depends on the attire. For the old school folks wearing the Zubas and the parachute pants, they don't really have to worry about the wedgies. But if you're wearing tights or short shorts, I do find that the lunge walk, or maybe just a quick check of your hamstrings in the mirror might help, or just leave it, just roll with it. All right, y'all, that's it for the questions. Until next week, train hard.